Hello, this is Mr. Smith, and this is USA in the World. This is week number 3. This is a testing week, and we'll also be doing some reviewing before that. And today, in the bell ringer, for the bell ringer in the chat, you can type, what did you learn about the Middle East from last week? Please enter this into Canvas chat. In Canvas also, in the module which is now at the top of the page, you'll see it's called USW 1 and 2 Review. Click on the study guide assignment, then make sure you make a copy. There's numerous items within the study guide assignment. You only need to pick 25 of them and copy them, paste them after the table, and then just define each of those 25 that you picked. And then the other thing I want to announce today is the Unit 1 and 2 Journal 1, knowing about the Middle East history, that terrorism could spring back up in places like Afghanistan and Iraq, and stationing troops will cost lives and money. Explain how long we should keep U.S. forces in those two places. This is an opinion question, but you just need to explain yourself in that particular journal. This kind of ties everything together, the two units that we learned about the Middle East and our presence there as a country. And then, of course, if you get done with all that, you can also work on the Unit 2 War on Terror slideshow that was originally presented last week. That is a project grade, and it will also help you review for the test. And then lastly, in Canvas chat, you can type in something that you learned today. And then looking at these things, back in Canvas, once again, looking at these things back in Canvas, there's current events again that you can go to one of those sites and find a news article that I have posted in there and just copy and paste the web address and then type a summary in a few sentences for bonus. That's available each week. There is the journal, as you can see here, which you'll be just clicking submit, and a text box will open up, and then you can go ahead and answer the prompt as best you can within that text box. You can see it needs to be 3 to 5 sentences and proofread. And then the War on Terror slideshow, once again, that is just going through the different stages of the War on Terror, 9/11, the war in Afghanistan, and the war in Iraq. And so you just need to go through and follow the directions that are there. Make sure you make a copy. You'll be placing these short instructions here with your last name and first name. And then make sure that you complete each of the 3 slides that follow. Starting with 9/11. What you'll be doing on each of these slides, and this will also help to learn how to make better PowerPoint presentations or slideshow presentations. But you would just put in 5 points about 9/11, and they should be some kind of headline type sentence. They don't need to be a complete sentence. For instance, you could, maybe the first one, put something like hijackers took over 4 planes, or hijackers take 4 planes, something like that. So really simple. Doesn't have to be a complete sentence. It'd be like the headline in a newspaper. So you'd pick 5 of those, and then on the right pane, you would put a picture that you find that's appropriate of 9/11. And then the same thing for the war in Afghanistan and the war in Iraq, and that will count as a project grade. And then going back here, we can also see the study guide. And once again, you can pick 25 items from this list and go ahead and put them down below this line, below the table, and define them in your own words, 1 to 3 sentences each. Now, in this case, I would recommend picking 25 of them that you're unfamiliar with, because that will help you study. It doesn't really make sense to pick 25 that you already know. That's not going to help you study for the test. And then lastly, you'll see a couple other things pop up here. On Wednesday, we'll be playing a review game, and I'll send out the code for it. It's on quizzes, and you would just use your school Google login to go into that if you like to play with the rest of the class. And then the test will be Thursday. There's also a slide after this, just presenting a world news type of announcement since this is USA in the world. The country of Myanmar used to be called Burma, a former part of the British system that was taken over by the Japanese and then freed. They were taken over by the military in 1962 and finally had elections in 2010, but now it seems like the military is seizing control. Now, why should the United States care about this? Well, we don't have necessarily a lot of trade with Myanmar, and because they're fairly isolated because of their military control there, including censoring social media and the internet. But of course, we also don't want other countries that we do trade with to get any ideas from this and for the military to seize control over other countries in South Asia, where we do have quite a bit of trade. But that is just a current event item that's going on in the news right now.